we're finding out today is why music is so powerful to humans. Why does everyone, and I mean everybody, care about listening to music? Anybody you know in real life listens to music, whether consciously or subconsciously, at some point in their life, they listen to music and they do it pretty often. You hear it everywhere. Doesn't matter who it is. MJ, the GOAT. The Weeknd, not really the GOAT. Kurt Cobain, R.I.P. Kendrick Lamar. Anybody listen to Kendrick Lamar? Kind of an underground rapper, but and Taylor Swift, also another underground pick I decided to put in here. All very underground artists that nobody knows about. But I'm just showing there's a lot of different genres, okay? Everybody has their own taste. There's so many various artists and genres that you could listen to. Everybody has their own unique taste that they've picked over the years. Now, one of the most important things of music is how it's created, right? And I like to think of music as this well-cooked lasagna from Chef Boyardee, the greatest cook of all time. You guys can send your playlist in the Discord. I'll actually listen to it. Anyways, music's a well-cooked lasagna, right? You got the guitar, you got the little drums in there, you got all these different layers that come together and make something that is pleasant to our ears. And I think that it's really interesting to think how one instrument could sound totally boring and not interesting at all to people, but once you combine them in a certain way, it actually means something. And that's why music is so special. Over the years, people have figured out how to combine these things and how to make it sound like it has rhythm and that it has the right tone and everything, and it really culminates together in this beautiful lasagna. I also found out when researching for this that nostalgia is extremely powerful with music. Now, obviously, I knew this, but I didn't realize that music is easily out of everything, the most powerful nostalgic feeling that you will ever have in your life. And I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually kind of true. Like, yes, I get nostalgic for other types of media, movies and shows and stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. But when you hear a song, it really hits different. It really hits different. And for me, personally, the thing that hits me the most and also hits for a lot of other people in my age range is the Minecraft soundtrack. The Minecraft soundtrack is legendary. You hear those first few notes and it's music. It's so pleasant in the ear. It's so perfect. It's just something that brings you back to your childhood. Even if you don't remember all the visual ideas from your childhood or anything like that, you could completely forget about everything else, but music will still stay prevalent in those memories. You heard the first note of Feliz Navidad on the radio and you remembered hearing it before, so this is true? Exactly. Feliz Navidad. I haven't thought about that song in a while. Damn, that's a throwback too. Anyways, I just want to bless you guys with this music real quick, just for the first 10 seconds. It's a little quiet, but it just brings you back immediately. And I think that this is one of the greatest examples of a nostalgic feeling that you'll get. I think it's good for the largest group of people, in my opinion. I also learned that music is found through association. And what I mean by this is that emotions aren't actually a part of music. Emotions are a part of your association with the music. For example, you hear a piano, you hear a sad piano. You automatically, not everybody, but a lot of people will think it's a sad connotation. They'll go to that right away. They understand this. Emotions are purely part of music. That's actually a misconception. They're not. There is nothing in music that is technically, it's not emotion itself, but it's only emotion through what we conceive these instruments and things like that. You heard sounds and you instantly knew it was talking about death or divorce or sex. Yes, that is true. But what I'm saying is over time, these different instruments and these different types of music have evolved into certain emotions, if that makes any sense. What emotion do you get from looking at my profile pic? I get depression constantly haunts me in my everyday life. I mean, just really. I think this is also the reason that music can bring such a strong emotion out. Or it doesn't even have to be sad or happy. It could be luxurious. For example, you hear the guitar solo at the end of Devil in a New Dress, you feel like you're the most luxurious and extravagant person that has ever lived in the history of the universe. The jolliest instrument? What's the jolliest instrument? I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like the bongos. Are so jolly. The triangle? Anyways, moving on. Another extremely important part of music that often I think gets underlooked just because people really don't think about it when they're listening to a song. But it's the surprise. It's the surprise element. Just like in other media, when there's a surprise or a crazy twist, people get hyped. It's crazy. Surprises are awesome to do. It's the coolest shit you'll ever see or hear. When surprises happen, it makes you feel like you're experiencing something that has never happened before. And I found this clip of this music educator talking about surprises in music, and we're just going to play a short clip from that.
Well, I like the way you use the word surprise, because me, the essence of all music is surprise. When I listen to a piece of music, if I'm not surprised within the first 8 bars, I've stopped listening. I've switched off. I need surprise. Dominic and I both have a teacher called J.S. Bach. And he
I know he's old, but he got good points.
8 measures of Bach, and you're surprised every time. And then the next 8 bars, and the next 8 bars. So composition is really about surprise. It's not about theory for me. It's just an instinct that I have.
And I think what he was saying there at the end is something that musicians try to get over the years, and it's that instinct to be able to put those surprises in, because it's a balancing act. That's what it is. Music is a balancing act between being able to put surprises in there, but also making it a cohesive song. And I think that's very hard to do, and I think it's an underappreciated part of music. Even breaks are literally your favorite part of songs. This is true. Exactly. It's something that's really special about a song. It could fully make a song, in my opinion. I love when they just add those little quirks. It doesn't even have to be anything that crazy. It just has to be, just a little surprise. That's all it is, man. At the end of the day, that's really what it is at a basic level. I thought that was just something interesting that I thought about in how, what really makes a song special and what really makes it resonate with people. And I think that's honestly a very important part of it. They give the song personality. Exactly. And this is a short list right here. We're getting into a little scientific, just a little bit. I wanted to dabble in it because I wanted to try and cover as much of this topic as I could, because I thought this was really interesting, actually researching this. I feel like I learned a lot about how music is really powerful. I think I really did. These are all the things that activate when you listen to music. It's a lot. It's actually pretty much your entire brain gets lit up by music, which I did not know was true. You would think it would only be auditory and then maybe sensory or something like that. It's everything. And if you notice, the visual cortex actually gets activated by this. This didn't mean anything to me. This picture did not mean anything to me when I first looked at it. So I decided to compare it to something that everybody knows here, everybody loves here, and that's social media. How does the brain activation when listening to music compare to social media? Now, social media actually only activates these small parts of the brain. It doesn't activate nearly as much, which I thought was really, really interesting. Because you would think when you're scrolling on TikTok or you're on Instagram that you're actually activating your entire brain like music, but that's not true at all. It's actually your brain gets more activated from music. And the thing with the visual cortex here, the reason it's getting activated is because your memory activates when you're listening to music. That's what lights up, is your memory. You're remembering things. Even if you're not technically visualizing them, it's still that same part of the brain that's getting activated. You hate social media, actually, you're on a social media. Just a little science there, just to show how music isn't just affecting your auditory receptors, it's affecting everything. Another incredibly important part of music is the social aspect. You put on a banger with your friends in a car. You get You get aux and you put on the absolute best song that you've ever heard in your life, and you make your friends appreciate it as well. Or you go to a concert and you go crazy. I mean, I haven't really been to many concerts, but the ones I have been to, hey, I get it, bro. It's that feeling of having the same experience as everybody else and being able to share that with other people. It's something truly special. I think music brings people together in a very special and important way. Something that isn't quite like other media. You got into two concerts, ones that, hey, it's not for everybody, but I think it's just the idea of being able to share music with other people. Music also doesn't have to be lyrical or anything like that in that sense. It could be a part of a visual. It could be a part of a movie. Interstellar, which is on the screen right now. It's a very ambient feeling. It makes it feel epic. It makes it feel legendary. It's not quite anything on its own, but when it's paired with something visual, it adds so much more to the scene. I think music is so important in movies. I actually 100% believe, and I think this is a pretty common take, but that music is one of the reasons why Star Wars was so popular. When Duel of the Fates hits, when they're in Mustafar and they're fighting, is one of the greatest moments in the movie. It's one of the greatest moments in the movie. I think I had Star Wars muted when you watched it. You had Star Wars muted when you watched it? I mean, for the dialogue, yes. But the music, it bangs. It doesn't have to be either of these two things. It could also provoke a sense of wonder, like in Jurassic Park, when they're first revealing the park. Jurassic Park W movie. It's a great movie. They're playing it, they're showing, he goes, "This is Jurassic Park." And then it plays that awesome music. That's a banger. It just adds so much to the scene. Music is so good in movies. It's so good. I think it adds so much more than people give it credit for. I think it really does. Music is something very powerful if you're studying for things. I know that some people can't listen to music when they're studying. And you know what? I get it. It kind of fills up your brain and it's hard to concentrate sometimes. When you're listening to music while studying, and then you go take the test on the subject that you were listening or that you were studying for, you can't remember what you were studying and you just remember the music. I feel like this has happened to me so many times, and it just cooks me for whatever I'm doing. Just to conclude this little slideshow that I put together, I just wanted to say, whether you're at a sporting event, a theme park, or you're playing video games or at a restaurant with family, music is everywhere. It's everywhere. And it hits people in different ways. It impacts people in different ways. It can provoke so many different emotions. And I think the thing to take away from this entire thing is that music isn't the same as other mediums. It's something that lasts forever. And actually, this is something interesting with people with like dementia and things like that, is that they're actually able to still remember music even if they're extremely far gone in every other aspect of their life. They could still call back to certain songs that they heard as a child, because I really think it is that powerful that it'll stay with you, is my presentation on why music is so powerful. Here's some credits too for the research, which is only 2 people, but just I feel like I should put that in there. I don't want to plagiarize anything.